Andrew Allegretti here with head baseball coach Patrick Mason. Baseball night in Blacksburg coming up February 6th at Lane Stadium. We're always excited about the annual first pitch, so to speak, of the baseball season. What has you excited about this year's event?
Well, probably the biggest thing is to have a former player come back, and Wyatt Toregas, who was a tremendous player here in the early 2000s and finished up his playing career a couple years ago after a couple stints in the major leagues, now managing with the Pittsburgh Pirates. But for him to be able to set aside time in his calendar before he heads to spring training to start coaching, just to see that commitment from an alum is probably what I'm most excited about.
What impresses you about Wyatt's story overall? As you said in the press release, he's a guy that's lived a baseball life.
Yeah, it's he's undersized. He overcame so much. I mean, he truly embodies what it is to be a Hokie, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know if that's a short answer to your question, but it's the easiest way I can put it. To see him persevere at such a tough position and make his way up, and now make a life out of the game and all of that. So he's got some great stories to tell. He's going to connect immediately with our players because he wore the exact same shoes. It's not. You know, he was going to class at campus, trying to juggle this exact same schedule that these guys are going through. So there should be a very good connection there.
I know we want to hear the stories for the fan base, but is that theme of perseverance something that you want the players to take away as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And I had the pleasure of coaching Wyatt in the Cape League in 2003, and I have stories about him from that summer. You know, we played in the longest Cape League game in the history of the league that summer, and he caught all 22 innings of that game. So that right there is who Wyatt is.
That's an incredible amount of catching to do in one sitting there. More stories to come, I suppose, at Lane Stadium, so you'll have to come on out February 6th for baseball night. As always, it's a fun night to socialize with the coaches and players, and then there's an auction going on as well. Can you kind of give us a sampling of some of the other things that'll be happening at baseball night?
I think it's great. It gives our fan base a chance to see our players, to talk baseball. It's inside 2 weeks of first pitch, so it's not just an event that's talking about baseball. We're getting prepared. We'll have an inter-squad scrimmage that morning in preparation for the season. So it gives our fan base a chance to start putting some faces with the names that they'll be reading about in the upcoming previews. The auction items have always been a tremendous part of the event, and it'll be the same again this year. We have a world-class auction, and I'm looking forward to put all those items on display. Bull and Bones does a tremendous job catering the event and providing a great meal for everyone who comes and attends. And I think every year I've gone to the event, I walk away really excited about the season, and once that event ends, it's almost like, okay, here we go, it's time to play some baseball, and I hope our fan base has that same feeling.
Once again, Saturday, February 6th at Lane Stadium, baseball night in Blacksburg. It'll be great to see all the players out there at Lane with the fans. And before we let you go, just one quick question. What has you excited about this year's group on the field?
Right now, and depth, and we got some guys back from last year that we're missing, and I think that was probably our biggest weakness last year was our depth, our quality of depth, and experience of our depth. And I think, without going into X's and O's and who's in our rotational lineup or things like that, I just think we have a lot of really good quality options for all the major roles with players who will be on our bench who are equally as talented. And I think that we've done a good job, our staff and Coach Connolly and Coach Woodard, recruiting to get that cupboard a little bit more full than it has been the past couple of years.
Coach Mason, thank you very much. Hope to see you at baseball night in Blacksburg.